Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
My name is Jyotika, and currently I'm pursuing PGDM from PIBM. We are truly honored to have you here with us today and gain all your insights from your experiences.
Thank you.
So, shall we begin with the interview?
Absolutely.
So, my first question is what has been the highlight of your participation at Pioneer Convergence at PIBM?
Highlight, I would say I'm new to Pune. So this was the first reach out that I had from an institute in Pune. And when I figured out a geographic location, that sounded pretty interesting. So that's more on the fringe side of it. But I think the kind of energy that I saw from the students when I walked in, the kind of reception that we received, kind of questions that came through, and generally the energy in the room, that I found was pretty impressive. Some of the questions that came through do talk about how students are very keen to understand about the industry and what happens on the other side of the world once you cross the gate out of this university. But I think it's a very good. I felt very impressed with the kind of mix of students that you have, diversity, and I will only hope and wish the best for you guys.
Thank you so much, sir. So, my next question is in your view, what major changes will AI bring to the corporate world and workplace dynamics?
So, in my opinion, the AI will hit all the jobs. I mean, when I say hit, it's not in a negative sense. AI will have an impact on all the jobs. There'll always be this thing around how the job evolves. There'll always be this intent around figuring out stuffs that AI can do. And if I could simplify things for you, I think when it comes to data crunching, looking at complex kind of environment and figuring out the gist and summary of it, which used to take a lot of time earlier, those are the areas where I see a lot of AI intervention happening right now. For example, every year or maybe each organization does its employee engagement survey. You have employees respond to certain set of questions. Those survey responses get shared with the HR team. HR team looks through the data, what comes from those surveys. And I have been part of that generation where we had to literally download an Excel sheet, do a bit of theme analysis using the Excel sheet manually, looking through the keywords and stuff, and then come up with set of findings and recommendations, to the point where it's as simple as just downloading a sheet, uploading in Gemini or any AI tool, and you just get the summary out of it. So what I'm trying to say is there would, as budding professionals for you guys, it's very, very important to always look at things which can be automated. And that's where I think the power of human intellect lies, because you guys know which part of the job is more prone to automation or which part of the job is highly likely to be automated. That's where you'll see the first positive impact of AI. What it means is it frees up your time to do something else as well, right? So that's the other piece that we have to be conscious as a professional, saying if certain part of my job, for example, the same example that I gave you about those Excel sheets.
Yes, sir.
If I know that that part is now being, earlier I would say take a day or two to do that analysis and talk to my leaders. Now I can do it in half an hour.
Yes, sir.
Of course, I'll scrub the data that came through. I'll revalidate some of the information because AI could be wrong as well.
Yeah.
To be clear. So what I would do is to make sure that once the summary is easily available to me, how do I validate that? How do I ensure that I spend time for having those meaningful conversations? But the reason why you want to have that connect is you build that sense of connection, you get to learn about human experiences, you learn about empathy. So I think that's always going to be there. And as we were talking in the session, the fundamentals I don't think are going to change, at least in the near foreseeable future. So that stays intact and you guys should focus on that.
Thank you so much, sir. So my last question is, sir, if you could give me one message to the students aspiring to enter your field, what would it be?
I would say lateral thinking and critical thinking. I would say always keep your eyes wide open.
Be observant.
Be observant. Don't get into that siloed mindset of, well, I am an HR professional and I want to only focus on HR and marketing doesn't make sense to me. I don't like finance. That doesn't work, because I'll tell you, HR, especially if you talk about HR, I think of myself as a business leader who does HR.
Yes, sir.
That's what industry needs from you. And what that means is you need to look around the corners, figure out the opportunities. And for that to happen, laterally, you have to think around and then figure out. Second thing is, always be very observant around opportunities which can be automated, simplified, eliminated, because that will always give you free time to do something more which is a higher value add.
Yes, sir.
If I have time, I'll give you an example. There's a CEO who would make sure that at the end of each year, he identifies 10% of his work that he would have done through the year, which he wouldn't want to do the next year, which means he'll intentionally try to figure out how that 10% of the job that he does can be automated or can be passed around to someone else. So it's always important to create that open space where you could do more, and that's where you should leverage tools, technologies, and be authentic about it.
That's completely true, sir. So, thank you so much, sir, for your valuable insights, and we look forward for the future interactions.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here.